Welcome back, YouTube, and today we'll be doing a little bit of a different video regarding the QOR Studio YouTube video. And today we're going to be doing a tier list on Deadlock. So right now it is currently May 21st, and this is the current Deadlock tier list for it. Recently there was a nerf regarding gun, and spirit builds have actually been a rise lately when it comes to the actual meta of the game, so I'm gonna go off that. First things first, we're gonna start off with Abrams. Abrams, I feel like right now is a pretty solid character. He's definitely dipped a little bit when it comes to characters against like Victor and Billy, but he's still a very solid character. Do I think he is dominant and as strong as the other characters? I do not think. I think he's one of the weaker brawlers, but I still think overall he's still a very strong character. If you see the night shift, he's still a very strong character. So for me, I'm going to put him in B tier. Bebop. I think Bebop, with his stacks and the current spirit being so high right now, I actually think he's actually a very strong character. You know, you always see him either banned or picked in the current night shift when it comes to the pro leagues. He is very strong in the sense that he is a permanent grower when it comes to his bomb stacks, right? That's his bread and butter. I know there has been other builds that are famous right now. There's been Tank Bop, which is a really famous build where he doesn't really need to build any tank. He doesn't really need to build any stacks. He is just himself. But I think overall he's been actually really good because, again, his whole kit is very spirit heavy. And the reason is, so I do think he's actually a very strong character right now. So with that being said, I am going to put him on the A tier. I don't think he's broken and really on the S tier, but he's definitely on the high A tier. He's a very strong character right now, very good, and overall a really good character. Billy. Billy has actually recently been growing a lot lately when it comes to the brawler scene. So Billy, the reason why he's so good is he really does really well when it comes to the face-off and really being the frontliner, right? Again, we have Abrams, we have Billy, we have Victor, we also have Mo and Krill. But Billy has really gotten up there. I feel like ever since he was introduced into the game, he's just been way above Abrams. His whole kit just seems to be a lot better. It's a lot better when it comes to team fights. He's pretty good on the 1v1s. Overall, when it comes to objectives, he's really good. He's just overall really good. You really don't need him to be a lot of kills, but he is just really good when you need him to be the frontliner and overall just to help the team out. He really does make an impact. He might not look like in the score lines, but he genuinely does have that impact when it comes to it. I am currently going to put him on A tier. Now, I do say he is better than Abrams, but I think he is more on the low side of A, not high side. So I do think he's still a pretty good character overall. Paige. Paige is one of my mains. Recently, this patch, she's actually been really strong. She is good in this patch, I will say. So she's not bad at all, but there has been other builds to counter her in the sense. It's not that I think she's weak, but I think that overall her kit is a very support character, right? She is purely a support character. And when it comes to team fights, it's kind of hard to participate in it. Yes, her shield is still very strong, especially with the spirit scaling. Her ultimate also is very strong too when it comes to helping across the map, but it also depends on you hitting it. It also just depends on everything. When it comes to actual damage dealt, Paige is actually on the weaker side. She really is very hard because, unfortunately now, Gun Paige really does not exist anymore. Gun Paige was really a very fun build. A lot of people built it instead of being the full support build. But now I feel like Paige is a very one-dimensional character in the sense of you can only build her on Spirit, and with the Spirit you can only build her on support. So she's a very support Spirit character, and it's really hard to be really fluid with her, unfortunately. So she is going to be going on the B tier, as much as this hurts me. I do think that she is better than Abrams when it comes to the overall play, but she really doesn't seem that strong right now in the sense of, because the only reason is I say she's not that strong is because you can't really you can't do different builds with her. She's really stuck on that one build now, right? And then with Calico, I think Calico is actually not that good in my opinion recently. You might see her going crazy in ranked, but if I'm gonna be honest with you, I think she's actually not that good. right? I think Calico is kind of overrated right now. Her kit is not that crazy in the sense feel like she's very counterable. Yes, she's good when it comes to the 1v1s, very, very strong character. But I feel like when it comes to the team fights, she's not, or I feel like there's other characters that are available, right? I still think she's a good character. Nothing bad. She's not very much a bad character, but she's a very niche character when it comes to this meta, at least, right? In this current patch, I think she's very niche to the sense of it. So I am going to put her on the C tier. Funny enough, C for Calico. But I do think she's overall a very good character. I think just the reason is just depends on how you build her and what way you build her. It's just, I don't know. I personally have not found her super strong, unlike previous patches where she was very, very strong. But this patch, for some reason, I'm not really a fan of it, right? Doorman. Doorman. Doorman's the first S tier character. This character right now in the current patch, he's so good. He can do it all, right? He can do objectives. He can help team fights. He's good at isolating characters. He's good at stopping, shutting down characters if the one's going too crazy. He is just overall right now a really strong character, right? I think with him also, the sense of that they kind of did overtune him in my opinion. I think when the buff where if you don't escape his ult, it goes back to 10 seconds. I feel like that is such a crazy ult right now. I think his ult right now is one of the main reasons why he's so strong. Especially now with the spirit being super buffed right now. His kit is just out of this world, right? Having him on your team is almost a guaranteed win right now. Especially in pro play. If you see him in pro play, he's either banned or picked every match. Every match you see him, he's either picked or banned. And right now, he is not fun to go against, if I'm going to be honest. He's very annoying, very hard to kill. He's very easy to escape. He can help the team out when it escapes also. I've seen a lot of Doormans in my games where they go and they purposely hide so they can ult you, and then they push you into the walker so the walker can knock you out, and then they can kill you. Very annoying, very strong character. Easily one of the top characters in the game right now. Drifter. I actually really do like Drifter as a character and his whole kit. I do think he is strong, but his issue is he is only strong if you get kills. And that is a big, big thing with him, right? If you're going 3-14 or 3-10 with Drifter, you are useless in that game. You are currently so useless, there's no point in you playing that game, right? That's the issue I have with Drifter. And I think with that alone, it really knocks him down a lot, right? Because then with these other characters, you might have a bad game, but you can still perform super well. And in the overall team fight, you're super strong, right? You can still help. So for example, Paige, she might not be doing a lot of damage, but her support and her healing and her shield can do a lot. You know, Bebop, if he's not really having a lot of bomb stacks, his ult is good. He can hook people. He can help them with team fight. It's really good. Doorman, you don't even have to do, you can have a bad game and still probably be the MVP of that game just because of how good his kit is, right? I think with that's the reason. But with Drifter, he's so kill reliant and so kill heavy that it's very hard for him to overall make an impact onto the game if you don't have kills, right? And with that alone, I also think he's a very niche character, just like Calico. But with Calico, at least, you can still have a bad game and still be useful in some way. But with Drifter, without any kills, you're basically nothing. In my opinion, he's a C character right now. Dynamo. Dynamo, since I've been playing since 2024, he has never been bad. He has always been a good character. Has he ever been broken? Maybe a little bit sometimes here and there, but he's never been a bad character, right? His kit is so good and so helpful when it comes to team fights. It's just you can't ignore it. He is genuinely one of the best characters in the game. He's one of the best support characters in the game, one of the best tanks. He's just overall a great character, right? Right now, I think when it comes to Dynamo, he's easily an A tier. I don't think he's ever left the A tier mark. He's always been up there just with his kit, with his ultimate specifically. He's able to help teams escape. His dash, if you want to call it, when he teleports out, super, super good, right? Very good character overall, really, really good. Victor. Currently, Victor right now is actually really, really strong. I think Victor right now is an S tier character. just his wall breaker build right now and gun Victor is super strong right now. Somehow, I don't know how that's possible. Also with the fact that he gets 2 lives basically is almost insane. He is just one of the craziest. He's honestly the best frontliner in the game right now, right? When it comes to just being in the front, just going at somebody or doing the objectives also, which is crazy enough, he can solo a walker if he wanted to. And that's very hard right now because they've been making soloing Walker very, very hard recently. And the fact that Victor is one of the few characters that can still do it efficiently is still kind of insane. That alone makes him such a strong character. And to be honest with you, he's just... I am expecting him and Doorman to get pretty nerfed next patch, which should be by the end of this week. As of this recording, the end of this week, definitely he's getting super patched, right? He's very strong. He's very strong, so he's definitely going to get patched this week. Hopefully nerfed this week. Great Talon. Great Talon's also one of those characters where he's good, but is never amazing, right? It's like, I think Great Talon is a worse Vindicta, in my personal opinion. So with these kind of characters where they're very long range heavy and they rely on the distance to do a lot of damage, I think Great Talon is great. He's good, but he's not amazing, right? Especially Reason with the Spirit buff. He's really good when it comes to like helping with team fights, but I also think he lacks in the same sense as Drifter. Not as much, but a little bit in the sense of that he kind of does need kills and he kind of needs to be ahead for him to actually have an impact on the game. Yes, the bird is good. Yes, he can set up traps, which is great. But overall, I don't think he is that crazy of a character. He's good, but he's not amazing. I'm going to have to put him on high C tier, low B tier, in my personal opinion. Haze. There was a recent ultimate change where it's now like a little cone instead of just in a circle where you can do everywhere. I think that it's fine. She's still a good character. I don't think she's bad. I think Haze is also one of those characters where they have never really been bad in this sense. They've been okay. They've been amazing. They've been broken. They've been good, but they've never been bad. And currently in this patch, with a character like her, an M1 character that relies solely on her gun to do damage, and that's really it, it's kind of hard for you to scale her. You know, you can't build her tank, you can't build her spirit, but you can build her pretty much only gun. You can only do so much with spirit build with her, but it's mostly a gun build. I do think she's on B tier. You know, just not really much to say about that. Holiday. Holiday is actually, I feel like it's an underrated character, right? Extremely high skill ceiling, right? A very, very high skill ceiling, especially with the barrels, with the jump pads. You have to master the movements. There's a lot of movement tech with her. And basically her ultimate is a bebop hook, but it stuns them also while you're hooking them, and it helps the team just like capture one person, and you can just lock one down. So someone's ahead and you want to lock somebody down. That's it. That's a really good character to have. I think Holiday is actually just genuinely a very underrated character. In my personal opinion, if I wanted a team, I'd rather have a Holiday than a Haze. I've ran into some crazy... The thing is, Holiday actually has a very low pick rate, but the few Holidays I run into, crazy people. They genuinely love this character and they're very good with this character. I think they're very, very strong. I think Holiday is just a very underrated character right now. I really, really do like her over Haze. Now we have Infernus. Infernus is actually still a very strong character, actually. Even though they nerfed his dash, which is Dash Furnace, was really annoying in the last patch. Thank God they nerfed him. He is more reliant on his gun now instead of just dashing away. It's very, very good. I do think that he is a very strong character still. I still think he's an A character, you know. Yes, they nerfed gun, but, you know, he's still... A lot of characters still build him spirit. His lifesteal is still insane with it. He's still very good in team fights, even though he's down. He's very good. His ultimate, his gun is just super strong. You can build him spirit gun. He's a very strong character, right? There's not really much to say about him. I think he's just a really good character. Ivy. Ivy has really grown into being such a really good support character for the sense of it. Yes, their gun is still really strong, and gun Ivy is still a thing. But their support role has been really, really good, right? They can do so much with the team, with they cover so much ground with the map too. Also, the rotation potential is very, very strong, right? They also have very good on rescuing teammates, helping them dive into team fights, just super strong overall. I think Ivy is actually a very underrated character, and I think they're on the A tier. Yeah, again, there's not really much to say about Ivy. I think Ivy is just an overall strong character right now. Kelvin. This is going to be a little bit of a hot take, but I actually think Kelvin is a very high A tier character. Now the reason is, he is, in my opinion, the best support character in the game right now. His healing output is out of this world, especially with his ult, but just currently with Vitality being such a high buff recently, that whole category has been really buffed. Kelvin can just basically rescue anybody. He is just genuinely one of the best characters, especially his dome, his healing right, his bombs also can heal too. So overall, Kelvin is just a really good healing character. I feel like he's actually so much, as a support, he is so much better than Paige in every way, right? You don't need the shield, but he provides it in so many other ways to help the team. He's a very strong character, very good character, and I feel like people have not noticed it, in my opinion. I haven't seen much talk about Kelvin. He's been kind of going under the radar a lot recently, but he is super good. I don't think he's broken. He's definitely has some flaws to him. Like his slide, like I think his ice slide where he can go around the, where he can basically go on the air with a slide is, I think, is a little bit worse. I think it's gotten worse over years. They made a super broken where he was going super fast with it, but they made him slow down a lot with it. But overall, I think he's still a super strong character. Early game, he is pretty weak. But when he gets to the late game, nobody on his team is dying. Very strong character, very good character. So as long as Kelvin is not ahead or fed, you'll be fine. Lady Geist. I like this character. I think Lady Geist is a fun character. Do I think she is meta or one of the top characters in the game? Absolutely not. I think Lady Geist suffers a lot from the... If they're having a bad game, it's very hard for them to do a lot of work, right? They are one of the characters that, in the instance that they don't get enough kills, they're not farming well, they're not ahead in souls, they're behind in souls, you can pick them off like barbecue chicken, right? They're super easy to pick off, and I think that's the issue with them. And I think that's what needs to be dealt with that, to my personal opinion. So I think Lady Geist is actually going to go on the B tier. Low B, high C, but overall I think Lady Geist is still super strong just due to the fact that Spirit is still really, really good. Now Lash. I think Lash is still going to be on A tier. Lash is just too good of a character. He's one of the best movement characters in the game right now. He's super strong. He's a very good on team fights, especially with his ult. Just insane amount. His escape potential is still up there. One of the best in the game right now. I think overall he's just a really strong character. There's not really much to say about Lash. I did see that his gun might get nerfed a little bit. I know people have been complaining about that. But I do think he's still a very strong character. McGinnis. This character is good, but they're very, very counterable. They're only good during team fights. They're very, like, you can't leave a McGinnis by herself. That's the issue with her, right? She is one of those characters where when they get going, they're going. But in the sense of, it's really hard to rate this character, right? I like this character's kit a lot. I think they're still a very good character. You can still build them Gun McGinnis, and Turret McGinnis is still a thing. But I don't know why, but they just haven't been hitting lately. I don't know, every McGinnis I run into, they're decent, but just for some reason, I can't rate this character high. I think this character is just not good compared to the top ones. I think they need more of a buff. Something needs to be changed about them. I don't know, maybe... I think their turrets doesn't need to be changed, but maybe their gun needs to be adjusted a little bit. Maybe something about their ult. I don't know, just something about them is not good. In my personal opinion, I think they're on like C tier also. They're just not a very good character right now. If I'm going to be honest, not a very good character. Mina. There's not much to say about Mina. She is an S tier character. She can literally do it all. She is one of the strongest characters in the game. She she could be down 5k souls and still have a bigger impact than anybody in the game. She just does everything correctly. Her butterfly teleport is just super strong. And just everything about this character is actually so annoying. Like, in my personal opinion, I'd rather deal with a Doorman and a Victor than a Mina. As a Warden, Mirage, and Page main, I hate going against a Mina. Mina is genuinely one of the most frustrating characters to go against. I'd rather deal with a Doorman. Doormans are probably so much easier to deal with. Yes, they're annoying, but at least they're easier to deal with, in my personal opinion, over a Mina. Because holy shit, Mina is just... It's just an annoying ass character. I hate this character so much. I hate how I have to deal with her. She's really strong, but I hate it. Which now goes into the next person, is Mirage. I think Mirage is a good character. Mirage is very strong. Very, very strong. I think they keep playing around with his ultimate, and then they play around the scarabs. Like at one point it did max healing after one hit. Now they went back to it gradually heals you, how long it stays on you. They keep changing it. I feel like they don't know what to do with his scarabs. I feel like they need to stop. I think what they have it right now is good. I think also the other major reason why he's so strong, not that his spirit output is also strong, but his ultimate. Now, recently before, you had to only ult, when you ulted, you could only ult to other characters. Now, you can ult anywhere in the map. Literally anywhere in the map, you can ult to it. Which is huge because now it does a lot of backdooring. There's a lot of ways you can sneak up on people. There's a lot of ways you can teleport to help teammates out. It's very, very good. I think he's a very strong character right now. He's probably going to get nerfed next patch. I am calling it, as much as this would hurt me. I do think he's going to get nerfed next patch. I think he's going to be hit pretty hard. Mo and Krill. What do I say about Mo and Krill? I feel like this is another character that's always good. They just never get bad. They're just never bad in the sense of like as a character. I think they're just always good. There's a lot of A characters. I think I have to knock some down, but I think there's just so many good characters right now in the game. There's nobody that's objectively really, really bad. But my god, can this character be annoying? He's just too strong. Like, he's very good at isolation. He's really good at, like, just stalling time. He's good at team fight, literally shutting somebody down. Just overall, like, a really strong character. I think you just can't stop him. He's just super strong. Paradox. Paradox is a B. She's a good character. She's very niche, depending on the team you're playing with, the team you're playing against is also matters, and I think that's the issue with her. She's very good at her isolations. I feel like she is a super strong character, actually. She's just really good, but I feel like compared to other characters, there's just other better options right now, right? You can play Paradox. They're niche. They're not bad, but they're not amazing. I think that's just overall. Pocket. I think Pocket, in my opinion, is actually an S tier character. He is just overall just crazy character. You can build him any way possible, and he's just great in that way. And has also his escapability, the way he can roam around the maps. He can literally do whatever he wants around the map and get away with it. It's just insane, right? Unless you buy silence, unless you literally just shut him down and force your entire kit on him, he really is just like, he can slide away. And then his ultimate just being the plague with the frogs. It just decays you so much. And then with team fights, he's just an annoying character. He just does a lot of damage output. He's just super strong, just like Mina. He's just super strong character. I think he's just overtuned at the point. 7 is good, but I don't think so he's great. He's like in the between of high, I would say I'm high C, low B tier, right? 7 is not a good character. He used to be really strong, but overall right now he's gotten super weak lately. And I think with that, it's the sense of that you could just counter him, you know, unless 7 is AFK farming for 15 minutes straight and then becomes 20k souls ahead. He's just that's when he starts like taking over. But now he's just like, I don't know, he's very readable. His kit is very standard. He's not very insane. He's just a very standard character, right? He's not very good, and he's just all right at the sense. But I don't see him as a very strong character at all, actually. Speaking of strong characters, I see Shiv, and I'm gonna put him above Billy. In the due to the sense that his I think he's just really good. His bleed build is still super strong. He has good movements. You can build him tank. You can build him gun. He's just overall a very strong character. I think his team fight potential and the way that if you are literally in a closed corridor, you are in Shiv's domain, basically. You should not be in a closed area when it comes to Shiv. His escapability is really good. His lifesteal is insane, in my opinion. He is actually just one of the craziest characters when it comes to lifesteal. You could think that you almost kill him, and then he'll dash into you, and then he'll half his health. He is just super strong character. I think he's just a very strong character. He's not broken in the sense because there is possibilities of shutting him down, but yeah, he's just super strong. Sinclair. Sinclair is an interesting choice. He is, in my opinion, a very interesting character. I think with him, he's strong, but damn, is his skill ceiling high. Like, you have to be basically a Sinclair one trick to be a master to master him. He is just very much a character where you have to know every ability in the game because, again, his ultimate is that he can steal your ult and use it against you, but he can only use the enemy's ult, and the only way you can use the enemy ult is you got to get close, steal it, then use it. I think with that's not really the skill part. It's just a lot of his kit, like his missiles, where he can throw it and then he can redirect it. That also like has to really get used to. You have to get aligned with that. Another thing I would say is his teleport, where like he can switch the bodies. That's also another one. His kit is strong and he's very good in team fights. Like, I think he's one of the best characters when it comes to team fights. One-on-one also, he's super strong. Like, I wouldn't want to go against a Sinclair in a one-on-one. He's really strong, especially if he's fed. He's basically a walking nuke in a 1v1 situation. I would be careful on that, so I think he's super strong, so be careful on that. But I think he just has a really high skill ceiling. Just very, very high. He's one of the highest skill ceiling characters, I think, in the game. So unless you're one-tricking him and truly really sitting down and mastering him, he's a very hard character to play. Vindicta. We were talking about this a little bit before. I think Vindicta's a really strong character. She's niche, but she also suffers from this fact that she needs kills. If she does not get kills, if she's not getting stacks, if she's not participating in every team fight there is, not at least getting any stacks, she's basically useless, right? She can't do much. She's not ahead. If she's not ahead or on par with this team, she's useless. Plain and simple. If she's behind, she's useless. It's just, that's her thing. Her whole thing is kills, and if she doesn't get any kills, she's shit. So that's my personal opinion on the matter. Viscous. I think Viscous is an A tier. Viscous is actually a really, really good character. I think with his punches and then his healing factor, I think he's also a very good support character. The thing is with him is that he's also one of the characters that needs a little bit of a higher skill ceiling just because there's a lot of movement text with his punches. If you ever seen one on YouTube and TikTok, you just see a lot of movement tech with him. He's very, very good. He's good on team fights, healing you and making you survive last minute. I think overall he's just a really, really good character, really strong. But I think he also suffers from the highest skill ceiling also. Viper. Now I'm conflicted with Viper. Viper as a gun carry is really, really strong, but I don't know. Something about her just doesn't give it out. I think, in my personal opinion, I'd rather have a Viper than a Haze, just with how her kit sets and how she can be really useful in the sense. But my god, like Viper, she used to be really strong for like a second. It wasn't long. She was super strong for one point. I think sometime last year she was really, really strong. But now she's just like, I think maybe because they kind of tweaked her kit a little bit. Her ultimate is still super strong. You're able to shut down someone's ult down. That's really good. But I think overall, she's an okay character. Nothing crazy, but I think she's okay. Warden. So this is my main, like my first main and my biggest main. I love this character. I think he's actually a very strong character. In the sense that they recently made it where his cage is a silence in tier 3. And I think rushing the meta with Warden right now is that you should rush cage and then you get his flash to level 2, then everything else is whatever, right? You can do it however you want. The reason is his cage is super strong is because you're able to shut down characters, right? So when I said a lot of these characters, the shutting down potential, right? The reason why I say Mina and Pocket are really hard to go against, for me at least, is that they're able to really get out of it, right? Dispel Magic removes the cage. So if an item is able to remove one of my abilities, they're still able to escape and then get away from me. I am useless at that point. Like, right? It's really hard for me to go against them when they just buy... yes, that I'm forcing them to buy Dispel Magic. They're wasting an item slot just on countering me. But, again, that's fine. That's part of the game. Dispel Magic can help with other things. But I do also think that the fact that it needs to be changed. I think the mobility in this game is good. I like the mobility. I like that there's skill ceilings in the mobility. Let's keep it that way. But there's some times where there's some characters where they're like, it's almost impossible to kill them just because they're everywhere. They're always in the air, super high, and they're able to escape. Like Mina and Pocket and Doorman have the easy, like they're one of the best characters when it comes to escaping each team fight, and it's super hard to kill them. And I think that I hope next patch they nerf them because it's super annoying to deal with it. But I think Warden overall is really good. His gun is super strong still. He's one of the strongest gun in the game. His ultimate's good. His ultimate's decent. It's nothing crazy. It's not that good. You kind of have to like run at them, and the wind up time is really long, especially if you're fighting somebody. So unless you get tier 3 and then maybe with Unstoppable it helps, but I don't think it's like a good character when it comes to his ult. But I think he's still a good character, just depending on how you play him. I'm gonna put him high B tier. I think he's just like a high B, low A tier kind of character right now. Again, there's other characters that are just, you can use them. Wraith. Wraith is a gun carry character, but she also relies heavily on her kills, right? She's very good when it comes to team fight, especially with Spirit being really good right now. She's okay. I don't know. There's not really much to say about her. She's just okay. Nothing good, nothing bad. It just depends on how you play them. I think she was played a night shift this week, especially today, and she was okay. She kind of got her ass beat a lot. The teams didn't really do well with her, but I think she's okay. So I'm going to put on B tier. And Yamato. Yamato used to be really strong. She used to be very, very strong. But I think over the years, just characters getting buffed, items getting changed, it's kind of over the years just really put her down in the sense. I think with that, she just hasn't been really strong. She's just been really, really weak, and nothing good has been coming out of her. With that being said, I think I'm going to put her also on C tier. I think this is like a perfect fit for her, and she just hasn't been strong. There's other characters that can do more than her, can be more efficient, can be more beneficial than her. And I think that's it. I think this is my list so far. I think I'm happy with this list. Maybe I would switch around some of the guys on B and A. I think S is... These 4, in my opinion, are the best characters in the game. I think without a doubt, they're the best characters in the game. The top 4. A's, you can interchange them. I feel like for the most part, you can interchange most of them. I feel like Mirage and Kelvin, they're still one of the best A characters. I think you can't really change them, but everyone else, you can interchange them. B, I feel like anybody here could be interchanged. And then for C, just... yeah, C is just like, they're not very good characters. But that is it. Thank you guys for watching, and bye-bye.